I'm going to make it Twitter. Twitter alive and kicking, but still down about 2 1/3% after a rough couple of days. Traders today continue to speculate who might be the next CEO or who might be plotting the buyout. Fox Business senior correspondent Charlie Gasparino. What do you have for us now on Twitter?
We should point out that the stock went down today on a report. I believe it was one of these tech rags that reported this. I can't remember exactly which one. That Google is not interested. That Larry Page couldn't care less about Twitter.
I believe that was The Information.
Yes.
So, yeah, the blog.
And I shouldn't say tech rag.
I was going to say, they're pretty respectful.
They're very respectful. And the guy that wrote it is a longtime tech reporter. It wasn't quite an investigative report. I believe it was sort of
an
opinion tweet. We should point out that one of the notions why Google might not be interested in Twitter is because they essentially have a joint venture with Twitter now, and they almost do the same stuff with Twitter. Not exactly like Twitter, but they
pay the cow when you can get the milk for free.
Right, and that's essentially what the theory is. I will say this though, that the stock went down on that, and that's why watching this daily is interesting. I think you should, as an investor in this stock, but I think you really have to look at Twitter going down further before you make the play that this thing is in play, and someone's gonna pay a premium.
Why, when 2 weeks ago you and I sat here with Jeff Green, the billionaire investor who shorted it, and we all agreed that at $30 a share, because it was 33 or 4 at the time, then it becomes interesting. Now you're saying $25.
Well, no, remember what I said. I think it needs to go further, and Jeff said it too.
So what's at $28.55 right now?
I think it has to go below 25 before it starts getting interesting, where people say, we'll take the chance on this thing. I mean, I think that's the level that the retail investor, if you want to play a little gamble a little bit, you look at this thing. I don't think you gamble at it here. You gamble at it lower, unless Twitter does some remarkable turnaround, which it seems very difficult. Here's why takeover makes so much sense. They don't have, Liz, a decent C-suite. They have Anthony Noto, the CFO, who's a very experienced guy, worked at Goldman, worked at the NFL, was the CFO of the NFL. And after that, they don't have a lot of others. You know, Mr. Dorsey, the CEO, on an interim basis, is going to leave to get Square.
Isn't the heat, shouldn't it be on the board of directors? Let me name some of the board of directors. Dick Costolo, the former CEO, he's still on the board. Peter Fenton, who's Benchmark Capital. David Rosenblatt, Evan Williams, one of the founders. Listen, there are a whole bunch of names here. Peter Chernin, who used to be head of 20th Century Fox Entertainment.
Yeah, I mean,
why aren't they in a little bit of a let's get going mode and name a new CEO?
Well, I think it's interesting that it looks like they were talking down the stock too. The executives, Mr.
They were selling,
but they were talking down the stock. You know, they were saying that metrics are bad. I mean, I would just say this: for an investor, this is something to watch. It's an interesting gamble. Let it go below 25 before you really start jumping in here. I just don't. I think that's the level where it becomes. Listen, there are trophies, right? Yeah. Mark Zuckerberg might want to own a trophy if it gets cheap enough.
I can't wait to see who the new CEO will eventually be. Thank you, Charlie. Charlie Gasparino.